Hey YouTube, it's been a little while since I made a video. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I've been in school for a while. So it's been 2.5 years and college is finally over, so that's freaking awesome. And now it's back to playing and making videos and all that kind of stuff. Stuff hasn't stopped, as far as working on the Camaro and all that kind of stuff, but my knife hobbies have definitely changed a little bit. It just got to be too much about keeping up with the Joneses and spending money and buying all these freaking knives that, I'll be honest with you, I carried and I babied them way too much, and I really just needed to get back to buying a knife and using the knife and enjoying the knife, you know what I mean? So I swapped back now to my Paramilitary 2, and that's what I've been carrying now for, I think, a week. I still have my Sabenza, so I do still have a couple of, I guess, pricier knives that I still enjoy. But either way, I decided to kind of get away from that on the channel. There's plenty of other guys that do way better jobs of showing knife videos and stuff, and mostly now it's just going to be playing around with the Camaro, playing around with the Jeep, doing little stuff here and there or whatever. It's not really a big deal, it's just kind of something to do. So without further ado, this is Jupe. I think you can figure out why with the old stickers coming off. It clearly looks like the word Jupe, so that was, an extremely original and ingenious name. This is a 1988 YJ. I did just put 35s on it. It came with 33s. Someone had already done, and this is a good time for the video because I'm in the mid work. Somebody had already done the spring over conversion, so they put the leaf springs on top of the axle. So the rear is still how I bought it, and the forward has already been changed out with a rough country 4-inch lift. So I did this probably 2 weekends ago. So this is the 4-inch lift, and there's the steering stabilizer. Yeah, I know there's two different stickers. I was playing around, and I'm not going to put the ones on the shocks, so I was kind of playing around with that. But either way, you see, I still need to rip the stickers off and all that kind of stuff. But either way, so far it's been a pretty fun little toy to play with and all that kind of stuff. I have added a cheap little light bar from Amazon, replacement YJ headlights. These things were only 50 bucks, and these things are awesome. You really don't even need the light bar. Brights on that is insane. The regular lights take up the top 5 and then the center one, and then after that it's insane. I can actually turn those on now. Yeah, so that's regular, and of course it's noon, but nice day to kick off work early and come home and play around. Either way, yeah, it's coming along. I will back up, I guess, and show a full thing. I've taken the full-size top off and done the bimini top. I'll put the full top back on, of course, in the wintertime, and I'm going to change something out for the rear. My daughter rides in the back, just around the neighborhood and stuff like that, and and some little basic trail rides that we've done recently. And the sun bothers her eyes quite a bit, so I'm gonna have to do something to shade in the back, or she'll have to wear sunshades and all that stuff each time. You can see the doors are gone, so the mirrors are gone. Let's see, what else? There's been quite a bit going on with it. This is the back. Got one of these covers, and I'll have to do a little video on this cover. This thing's held up like really well. I've had it for 3 months, and this cover is freaking awesome. It's just a stretchy, like a shower cap kind of curtain. Can't remember. Let's see. Here's the company right here. It says Leader Accessories. Let's see if I can see that. I don't know if you can see that there. But this is it's like a thin kind of material, but it's waterproof. And I freaking love this thing. It's easy to put on. It's just freaking cool. So either way, that is the back. Inside, just basic little stuff, old YJ nonsense, nothing major. I did change the windshield already. It was cracked when I bought the Jeep, so that was one thing. Adding these little silly handles from Amazon and little koozie holders or whatever, can holders, drink holders, whatever. I did do the outdoor speakers. This was like a really cheap conversion. When I bought the Jeep, this little roll bar thing was all freaking torn, so I had to zip tie it back together. I'm hoping that's coming out okay with the light, but I had to zip tie it all together, and I added the outdoor speakers. I don't know that it's necessarily loud outside of it, but that one speaker being right beside your head helps out. Clearly with no doors and no top and stuff like that, it makes it a little bit harder to hear the radio. Overall, it's a pretty fun little toy. So I can back up a little bit. You can see the Camaro, unfortunately, buried in junk. She's so pissed off right now because I haven't messed with her at all. But either way, this is what I'm going to be driving and playing around with while I'm working on the Jeep. Because it was coming up to buy a new truck. Somebody borrowed my truck, and unfortunately it ended in disaster. So that truck, my 02 Ram, is no longer here. And I was like, you know, I really want another new truck. I had a King Ranch before and got rid of it just for some issues and stuff, and was talking to my wife, and I'm like, you know what, I've always wanted a Jeep. Let me just go the Jeep route for now, and then we'll go from there. It did come with 33s. Somebody, you know, it's had a rough life, but we're going through kind of fixing stuff. Underneath the hood's a little bit of a mess, but needs some wiring adjustments and stuff like that. But it does have 33s on it now. These are the Kumo tires. What are these things called? Road Venture. They're actually pretty quiet. I'm kind of impressed with them. They were fairly cheap. I think it was like 185 bucks a piece on Amazon, which is a great deal for a 35-inch mud terrain. So that was pretty cool. Played around a little bit. You can tell it's got a little bit of dirt stains and stuff like that on it. Not too many. Just washed it last weekend, but you can see I didn't do that great of a job. But it's a fun little summer toy, and something to kind of get me and the kids hanging out with each other and all that kind of stuff. So either way, I appreciate you watching. If you've got any suggestions or anything like that, if you have a Jeep like this and you've got any ideas of, you know, cheap, simple mods or whatever that I can do, I'll be going after a winch after the suspension lift is complete. I hope to finish that this weekend, and I think next it's literally going to be cleaning up the inside. I did do a little quick video on that foot peg for the Jeep, because you can make them, you can buy them. Some of the ones for the YJ were a little bit more expensive. I'm honestly not about spending money. I'm about enjoying it. I've spent way too much money on knife collecting and guns and all this other nonsense, and I feel like, you know what, I haven't gotten a good bang for my buck. So I'm all about doing the cheap stuff and just enjoying it. Not, you know, doesn't do any good to buy a bunch of crap and put it in a safe and not use it. So that's where we're at now. Either way, I appreciate you watching. Simplify. See you again.